What I told the team, we started out the game taking a few bad shots, and what I tried to explain to them at halftime is that I used the analogy of when we were in a national championship run in the Final Four. I said, Wichita State's the best defensive team in the country, and we're not going to get them to play our style of play, so you've got to be better defensively, because you're not going to get a chance to get on the break like you want to every day in practice. Then, obviously you play Michigan, you're going to be up and down. So I said, you must be the better defensive team in the second half, and they were brilliant because they shot 35% from the field and 13.6 from three, and they play a lot like Alabama. It's paint touch, shoot threes, and we shoot 59% in the second half because we moved the basketball. So I thought they made great adjustments. I thought that Casey Stanley, my assistant coach, he's an Iona grad, did a brilliant job of scouting. We've been prepared. We knew how good this team was. We've been preparing since Greece. Believe it or not, we were running their offenses because it's so difficult. So we tried to figure out in their conference with 8 returning players, let's schedule them. Like you all witnessed, certain teams win by 40 or 50. We scheduled Liberty because we felt they were going to win their league. We scheduled Harvard because Harvard and Yale were picked 1 and 2. So we tried to do that to get us ready for good offensive teams and good defensive teams. And tonight they were a very good offensive team and a very good defensive team.
Coach, you needed your defense to come through. The first half, everything was hard. No fast break points. You couldn't get any turnovers, get out of the break and everything. You had to foul, trouble with Elijah and Tyson and guys on the bench. Is this going to be the style that you guys play, or is it just the product of the opponent, or what?
It's tonight. Look, we're a racehorse team, and when you play Virginia, when you play a ball control team, you're not going to be able to play your style. So you got to adjust and be the better defensive team. I mean, I struggled with Virginia when I was at Louisville all the time because we couldn't adjust to their style. So tonight, we adjusted to that style, and we were a hell of a defensive team. And we challenged every three-point shot. They didn't get a good look from the three-point line. Even the ones they made were under duress. And that's guys really focusing in at the defensive end.
Obviously, you have a very similar team to last year. You have a new backcourt. What do you think of the way that
I don't think there's any similarities between this team and
last
year.
I meant your personnel, but with Elijah and Tyson, a new backcourt.
Well, when I say that, last year we had no bench. This year we can go 12 deep. And yes, we have 8 new players, but we just depended on Ross and Asante last year. And Nelly obviously had a good freshman year. And Nelly learned a valuable lesson tonight, and Ryan Myers learned a valuable lesson tonight. Ryan's got to learn not to play like James Harden and move without the basketball because teams are going to focus in on him. And then Nelly learned that, hey, you're not going to get your 16 rebounds because you got a target on your back. You got to move to get your rebounds. So 2 guys learned some valuable lessons of how to play against teams that look to shut you down.
But what about Tyson and Elijah? What do you see for them?
They did a good job. They still, this is going to sound crazy, but for 50th seniors, they have a lot of improvement to make, a lot. And that bodes well for us. If I could get Elijah to lose 10 pounds, he'd be hell on wheels. But it's been a struggle because he's really good, great leader. I had a guy at Louisville named Jerry Smith. I begged him to lose the weight. Couldn't do it. He's over in Greece now playing professional basketball. Every time I see him, he said, Coach, I wish I would have listened to you. I would have been so much quicker and so much better. So I got to get him down to 186, 187 from 194, and I got to get Tyson just to understand certain things defensively. But he was a hell of a player tonight.
And Elijah had broken nose though. He was wearing that.
Yes.
Where'd that happen? Practice.
Practice.
Yeah.
And he's got a. It's really. I mean, it's not like a little fracture. It's broken.
Yeah.
And he's a tough kid though. He's a great leader, tough kid, and. When you're 6'3" and 6'4" in the backcourt, and Walter Clayton, who this wasn't his style of game tonight. Walter's very talented, but it's not his style.
Rick, when Tyson was in here before, he said that he wanted to play for you out of high school. What about him and his style complements this team and the way you want to play?
Well, it's my assistant coach is screwing up for not recruiting. But Tyson's a great athlete. He's a good shooter, good defender, really good rebounder. And now we want to try to get him to the great area in those categories. We want to make him a great shooter, great defender, great rebounder. And we think he can. He's got great potential. As you can see, he's very, very athletic.
First home game tonight in front of a real live crowd. What can you say about the atmosphere tonight?
The crowd was great. I was pleasantly surprised. The crowd was great, alive, and we'll probably sell out against Harvard. But these guys have worked very hard to get to this point, and the schedule's terrific. We're going to keep playing.
Coach, just going to ask you about the play of Dylan Van Eyck tonight. When he went in the second half, he was getting rebounds, he was forcing turnovers, and he was making points. It seemed like he had a lot of energy.
Yeah, Dylan was doing it all. Made big plays, big drives, big passes, great defensive plays. Now all he has to do is just put down the pom-poms and let the cheerleaders cheer, and just stay focused on the little things defensively.
You don't like all that the rah-rah stuff?
I like it,
yeah.
But there's a time and place. When you got to switch the pick and roll, you can't be pointing. You can't give me Carmelo Anthony on the head when you got to switch, and because that's what they do. They set those picks in the wide open court. Now, if it's a timeout, you want to bang your head. But while play's going on, please stop doing that.
Sorry.
I was going to ask about Tyson Jolie, about his offensive performance today. He had a lot of energy in the beginning of the game and then also down in the clutch in the second half.
Yeah, what we have to get him to do now is go at the basket with his size rather than fall away. He's got a nice fade away in the post, but now we got to get him to post up smaller guards and go around him and score. But he was terrific. I'm so happy with this defense right now because this is not the way we play. We're trying to push it 4 seconds. We're trying to get up and down. And the guys in the first half got extremely frustrated with this style of play. And that's why we said, look, we're not going to win our style of play. This is a veteran team with 4 seniors. They're not going to let you play fast. They know if they play fast, it's going to go against their grain and they're in trouble. They were extremely well coached and disciplined.
Rick, Parker played a good amount of minutes tonight. He gave you a little bit of contributions back in the spring. Obviously, you had some guys in and out of lineup and stuff. Do you expect him to be? He's like your 7th, 8th man tonight. Do you expect him to be?
Yeah, Parker. Obviously, Beric is still not in great shape. He just came back a week ago, and he's missed over 2 months. But Parker's just a glue guy. Parker doesn't look to dominate the ball. Everybody loves to play with Parker. If you were at the New York Athletic Club and you're playing 4-on-4 and it's winners out and you don't want to leave the court, you're picking Parker because he's going to keep you on the court. So he's very valuable. He's a good defensive player. He blocks out, does all the little things.